Hi, I'm Graham Best. I've been a teacher in the Vancouver school system for 30 years and I've seen pretty much everything. I've seen students get almost 100% and I've seen other students repeat a course and still not get through. I remember I was giving some notes on the board in a grade 9 class and this one young student wasn't taking the notes. And I said, "Why aren't you writing these down?" And he said, "Well, sir, I've failed this course twice before. I know it well." Now, I've seen pretty much everything, but I do believe that almost any student can get top marks. Any student. It doesn't matter what your background, what your experience has been. If you do the right things, and sometimes it's very simple things, little tiny things you have to put into your routines that will allow you to get usually into the 90%. Now here's the first of the 12 things I wish I could tell my students. Number one, first things first. When it comes time to study, all distractions are removed. The TV is off, all music is put away. Now some people say, no, I can have music playing while I study. You may think that, but the research tells us very clearly the only kind of music that you can actually have in the background that will help you learn is called classical Baroque music. Now if you don't know what that music is, check on Wikipedia. Do a Google search on it and read it about it and then maybe download some of it, listen to it. If you have to have something in the background, only classical Baroque music. Now that's just a little study tip on the side, but first things first. When you go to a job, you work for your employer and you give the best you've got. They've got you for the hours that you're working and you're getting paid for the time you're putting in. I would like you to think of your classroom time and your study time as your job. It is an investment in your future. The better you do at school, the better you will have in your job, the more income you will have. Think of it as your job. Now a couple of thoughts. Suppose that you did very well in a course. You'll feel better about yourself. People will like what you've done. Your parents will be happy. Your friends will be happy. The idea is that then you work harder and you have even more success and you enter this cycle of success. There's no downside to getting really good marks. So think of it as your job. It becomes your priority. You take your study time. All distractions are removed. You have the place you're going to study, you pick a time when you're going to study, and now you're going to work. You have all of your tools ready to go, and you begin your study time. Now a couple of tips. Suppose you have trouble getting started. A couple of things. Here are some psychological tricks you can use. You can tell yourself, I'm only going to study for 5 minutes. I'm going to give it my best for 5 minutes. Do it. The moment you start, what happens is, once you're on a roll, you'll keep going. It always works that way. But psychologically, you're thinking, I'm just giving it 5 minutes, but you'll study for quite a while. The other thing you can do is always make a list. Before you study, sit down and say, I will learn my 10 words of vocabulary, I'll read these pages, I will, and you make a list. And now you start following through the list. One more little tip that helps. Some people think I'm just going to go at this and study for an hour, and it turns out from the research that at the beginning of a study session you are more alert, you tend to remember more, and then at the end of the study session you also tend to remember more. Here's a suggestion. Rather than study straight for an hour, why not go for say 20 minutes and then take a very short break? Maybe make a cup of coffee, take the garbage out, bathroom break, whatever you have to do, just a couple of minutes, come back and go for another 20 minutes. Then take another very short break and then another 20 minutes. What happens is, instead of having 2 peaks where you are having maximum brain power, if you will, what you have are 6 peaks. And your study time is maximized. Now obviously it's just a tip, it's something that people have found to work really well. If you're on a roll, by all means don't stop after 20 minutes, keep going. So the first point, let me just reiterate one more time. First things first, you make your study time a priority. All distractions removed, it's now an investment in your future. You're going to work, you're going to be studying.